Given the competition from the ever-growing top-tier anime like Demon Slayer, Oshinoko, Hell's Paradise, and more, My Home Hero may have gone completely under your radar this spring anime season, but I think this show is definitely one to give a bash. It's got drama, chills, suspense, and cliffhangers that leave you feeling like you need that next episode like yesterday, man. Crime, drama, thrillers are ones that I do tend to avoid as I'm a bit of a girl when it comes to suspense and, the gore aspects. I 100% hate jump scares and stuff. No. Horror, gore, torture stuff, it's a big no-no for me. I'm precious, I'm like a flower. Delicate and must protect, but it's cool. That's just who I am. Anyway, what I'm saying here is that there was just something about My Home Hero that had me so excited. It was a show that just, I felt like I really needed, Now, there's been 4 episodes out at the time of this video's making, and I have to say that it's been a ride. A ride I've thoroughly enjoyed, and it's certainly kept my attention. I feel like there's just so much going on this season, and the bar has been set exceptionally high, so every anime needs something about it to keep it in the watch list, otherwise it will just easily be discarded. With My Home Hero, there is this dark theme to it that lends intrigue to the viewer, and with each and every week we are plunged deeper into its world that gets darker and darker. Don't get me wrong, the show definitely has its flaws and it's far from being a contender for anime of the season, but My Home Hero is a crime thriller that's, different from the normal dose of isekai and romance that we usually get. And the progression the story undergoes each week keeps your interest piqued and wanting more. Now, the majority of the first episode was devoted to, introducing the characters and developing the bond between Tetsuo and his daughter Reika, and of course setting up what the series was about. The anime follows Tetsuo, a 47-year-old guy living a pretty normal life. He's a salaryman with a wife and a daughter who's a first-year college student. Reika is basically dating a guy called Nobito who is violently mistreating her. Not only that, but he's also part of one of the Yakuza groups. Understandably, Tetsuo chooses to get involved after learning this, and he only wants to protect what is important to him. So, one day he chooses to investigate his daughter's apartment, however, Nobito bursts in, which forces Tetsuo to hide in the closet. Now, it's here that he overhears a phone call Nobito is having and hears the Yakuza's plans for his daughter Reika. They plan to basically extort money from her wealthy grandparents and then kill Reika off when they are through with her. He nearly gets caught here after dropping his phone in the shock of hearing this, and it's in this moment that he chooses to make his move. So, Tetsuo becomes enraged and terrified that his daughter is in great danger. He bursts out from the cabinet and kills Nobito by repeatedly striking him over the head with a rice cooker. Yes, a rice cooker. Such a Japanese move, by the way. We've seen multiple shows or movies where someone is bludgeoned to death by an object over the head, but I just felt like a rice cooker was such a Japanese take on this. Anyway, he decides to conceal the corpse and dispose of it covertly in an effort to carry out the perfect murder, all in order to keep his daughter Reika safe. And I gotta say, it's amazing to see just how far this guy has gone to protect his family, Was it extreme or the right call? What an absolutely intense situation to be in, Now, what really caught me off guard was that his wife turns up at the apartment and learns of the murder. She just acts so casually and is eager to help Tetsuo with the cover-up efforts. I was like, bro, what? She literally walks into the apartment and sees her husband next to this blooded dead body and was just so calm about it. It makes me wonder if there's more to these two than meets the eye. And it's if the premise for this anime wasn't sinister enough, Tetsuo and his wife, they're just so comfortable with the notion of disposing of a body without leaving any evidence, and it was in its own way pretty horrifying in itself. You could easily believe that this wasn't their first rodeo and that the pair had done something like this before, maybe. It was just things like, purchasing a suitcase to accommodate the corpse, making a solution to shrink the body, and even utilizing flesh-eating bacteria to consume the corpse's flesh. They even had a conversation where he says he's very into murder mystery books, and his wife asks him if it's his first murder. Intriguing question as to if there is more to Tetsuo, but at the same time, the question could very much be a subtle hint that maybe the wife has killed before, that meme where it's first time. And I gotta say, that's what I really like about this show. You're just constantly asking questions all of the time. Now, the show from here is basically them going through with the perfect murder, all while being, heavily investigated by these Yakuza groups, who of course are going to find out where the missing Nobuto has gone by any means necessary. It's this tense back and forth between the two parents and this Japanese mafia that really keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's like you just know they've gotten in way over their heads with this, but it's their own wits and determination to keep their daughters safe that keeps them in the game somehow. And just as you think it is the end for them, they have this way out, and it keeps that heart race of yours just beating out of your chest. Now, I've got to say, I've thoroughly enjoyed this series so far, and it has kept me watching, but it is with its flaws. For starters, I see a lot of people don't really like the animation of this show. Me, personally, I don't really think it's all that bad, and for a show such as this, I don't think animation is the main focus, nor a make or break aspect of it. I'll agree that yes, it doesn't blow me away compared to the other shows that are airing this season, but I just think that for a show that's really based on the narrative and the thrills it gives us along the way, I don't think it exactly needs this extreme animation. Yeah, animation can really enhance an anime, but I think its core, the story needs to be the main focus, otherwise you just end up with a polished turd. But, if animation is something that's a deal breaker for you, then don't be expected to be blown away by this show. Now, another flaw I'd say is arguably the characters. Tetsuo is shown to be this uncomfortable but well-intentioned father figure who struggles to keep his connection with his adult daughter intact. The mother doesn't really spend a lot of time on screen, and when she does, it doesn't really feel like she accomplishes anything. She definitely has that background character vibe to her. Then there is, of course, Reika, and even though her father tries to care for her, of course going as far as murder, Reika just is shown to be quite cold to him. Yeah, she's a teenager and all, but she hasn't done anything to demonstrate improvement in that area. Some of the Mafia members we have seen have also been pretty two-dimensional and a bit clunky, I'd say. Proper cliche characters you'd expect to see in this setting, and I was expecting to see something or someone a little out of the norm to add more tension to who they were dealing with. But despite this, I know it's still very early days and a lot can change as their characters grow in the story. And talking of story, it's the story of the show that's really got me hooked. I feel like it's getting better and better with each passing week, and the situations we find Tatsuo in are, definitely ones that have that tension to them that you crave from this genre. But most importantly, like I said, it keeps you asking questions as you try to understand the motives of everyone. I honestly feel like it's done a great job of making you think twice about some of the characters chasing the parents down in particular. So yeah, the premise behind My Home Hero is sound, and with the correct pacing and some enhanced characterization, it has promise that we have already seen. However, it still has a long way to go before it can compete with the other anime this season. That being said, My Home Hero is a show that is definitely worth giving a shot if you haven't already, and one that I can't see myself dropping this season. While you wait for the next video to drop, why not check out this video where I talk about one of the big anime this season and a frontrunner for Anime of the Year. That being none other than Oshinoko. But guys, that is it from me today. I hope you are all good. I will see you soon for the next one. Till then, take care. Peace.